Maybe because I used my abilities. Maybe. Expect it to be that easy though. I want to do a little bit more of them. I think I'll need them. Yeah. Get that. Rather take less stupid damage types that I just sometimes can't do anything about.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for.
Sure you won't. They look ominous, don't they?
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Do I need to rest? Let's rest, just to be sure. I know something bad probably going to happen.
The Guardians will hold the door as long as need be.
Everyone else is ready. So few of us remain.
Lord Abidun, guide our hands and steel our hearts. Give us the mercy of your forge.
Right.
At least it's warm in here.
Right, well I don't like that they're all around. Right, so I'm going to assume
Of course.
something bad's going to happen. Get in the middle here. Large stone dragon skull stands silent Figo at one end of the circular chamber. Within its maw is a network of steel dividers, tubes and vents, indicating that the impressive construction served as the furnace for the White Forge. There's a shallow basin at the front of the furnace, and in the eye sockets of the skull itself are golden rings, evidently meant to house some manner of gem or instrument. Examine the forge. The dragon's skull gazes down upon you with hollow eyes. Both have gleaming golden rings worked into the sockets, and both of these stand empty. In the basin at the base of the furnace, you note a rectangular gap, as if something once sat there. Okay. Left socket. With a crumbling little climbing, you are able to reach the eye socket and carefully wedge the spear into place. It fits snugly, and you think you sense a small ripple of energy as the eyes set within. You feel a faint vibration through the skull. It grows in intensity until the very ground seems to shake. Loose cobblestones rattling in the settle in their settings. You leap from the furnace to confront what is coming.
What stirs in the heart of the battery?
You place the stone disc into the basin and find that it fits perfectly within the hollow before your eyes. The disc turns on its own accord, rotating this way and that before finally sinking into position. There's a rush of air and the clunk of some mechanism deep within the furnace. The air around the forge seems to be growing warmer, though the furnace itself remains dark and still.
Strengthen us with your flame, Lord Abidun. Temper us for the crucible.
Middle ahead. I was missing something. There we go. Alright. You climb onto position and carefully set the Adra spear into the golden ring at the centre of the skull's eye socket. The spear fits perfectly and it drops into place. A peculiar burst of energy ripples outward from the dragon's eye and through you. From deep within the furnace comes a startling metallic screech, as if some hidden mechanism has come to life. From the vents around you rises hot, stale air and the glow of rising fire. A gust of hot air erupts from the stone dragon's maw. Molten ore drips from the basin and dark billowing smoke begins to gush from between the skull's fangs. You hear another grinding shriek, but not of machinery. Ahead you rises a chorus of howls, bodiless voices rise in rage and despair. Then we get fucked. Here we go. Here's the bullshit that happens.
Hey. Let's go. How may I? Almost.
Head on.
Do anything.
Yes.
Go right around.
Head on.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Head on.
Fucking block. Are you shitting me with that? No, don't fucking do that.
Flash with skill. Dead on.
Lava Ruby on. Seek. Lava Ruby on. Seek. This thing isn't doing. The job.
Not again, mate.
You're talking.
Indeed. This thing isn't doing the job.
safe.
Hey.
Well, better than nothing, my friend. Better than nothing. I don't have a car. Would be useful. There we go. I'm getting there. Holy moly, we're getting there.
That's not very helpful.
This one. Hell's my
Oh. Getting there, we're getting there. Why did you cease doing something?
That's not very helpful.
You don't know? If you can't go that way, go behind them. Come on, Eora.
That's not very helpful.
They're not that stupid, mate, but sometimes you can clearly be stupid. Finally, my word, that was just a nightmare. It was like, do I go to the left? Do I go to the right? Do I go over here? Do I go over there? Do I go over there? Do I go backwards? Do I go forwards? Forwards? Back? Up? Oh, it's over. It's over. They're all dead. Saving it. Oh.
Sure.
All dead. Alright, so.
Stop, Marauder! Our bodies are dust already. Must you profane holy ground with further violence?
Flames roar and whip within the forge. As they rise, the glow washes the room in a gory crimson light.
Did the height of our walls offend you? Did we cross your borders? Sell you weak steel? Tell us, why did you invade our fortress?
Behind the anger and through the roaring flames, you hear the voice of a tired old man. Lord, yep, let's go for that. No,
No, that cannot be. Abidon wouldn't allow it.
flames flicker and shudder, and the stone beneath your feet grows suddenly cold.
Wake up, Exandru! This is why Abidan gave us the White Forge, that we might take up arms and deal with villains like this.
Heat surges once again from the forge, trickling your skin.
Such a magnificent device, and she can only see it as a tool for war. She shames our grandparents, who wandered this continent and...
Quiet, both of you! Can't you feel it? This chill. This silence.
Silence. The fire's crackle and snap.
But you entered our keep and found it abandoned. Ruined. What happened to us?
The official history is that you destroyed yourselves, but it looks like someone or something invaded the battery.
I'd never seen anything like them. Twice the size of any ogre, and positively fearless. They were...
Eyeless. Yet no matter how hard we fought, or how deep we hid, they kept coming for us.
What were they?
Some kind of magfolk, but bigger than any we knew of. We who survived never got close.
They were relentless. Unnaturally so.
Why did they attack you? They didn't stop to explain themselves, yet I wonder at what monstrous wider might survive in a place like this. Oh, well, okay.
We should have taken our steel and pushed east.
What's to say they didn't come from the east? From the lands Maroon so coveted?
It was a punishment for taking this gift of Abidan, the White Forge, and squandering it on our greed and vanity.
All our voices say nothing, but you feel the doubt and dissent and the stifling heat of the forge.
We retreated until there was no place left to go. Until those of us who remained were here.
Here, with the salvation Abidan had left us.
Use the White Forge to channel your souls into the battery.
Yes, using the same methods with which we had fashioned so much cold steel.
It was agony. Feeling your soul ripped from your flesh. Feeling every part of you torn asunder. But it saved us.
Imprisoned us.
It was Abidan's grace. Now, we inhabit the monument our people built to the White Forge.
What's this have to do with Abaddon?
The White Forge belongs to Abidan, of course. It is here that he built his own body.
And whether he found this place or created it, it's a truly remarkable smithy.
Smithy?
We Pargrunin are wanderers by nature. But it was Abidan's call that led our forefathers here after generations spent along the Pearl Coast and Air Glonfath.
So the old stories say. Then again, I can't see any other reason our grandfathers would have stayed here when greener lands lay east.
So how does the White Forge work?
Its fires have been blessed by Abidan. They're fed by Eora's molten heartbeat and veined with Outtro that runs to the center of the world.
Which explains their conductive power. See, these Outtro veins allowed us to siphon essence into steel as we shaped it.
And that essence, the extraordinary heat of the forge, and our smith's skill is what made Durgan's steel so remarkable.
See, and now you're here. Durgan's battery.
Stuck here, you mean? With all the others who sought to escape the Eyeless.
Yeah, I'll say that one, the last one.
Had we thought longer on the fate that awaited us, we might have chosen a quick death to this slow agony.
Blasphemy! There's no greater honor than remaining here, watching over the White Forge.
I'll be diplomatic because I'm diplomatic. I suppose that's one way to look into it.
I only wish we could protect this humble monument better.
do something. Anything. We were once among the greatest smiths in the known world. Tell me, do Kith still speak of us?
Yes, and highly. You are still regarded as master smiths.
That is good to know. It's only a shame that this legacy is nothing but a memory.
Wait for your radiate's gentle warmth.
Is this why you braved the restless souls of Durgan's battery? To recover the process of Durgan's steel?
I'm hunting a group called the Leading Key, that they were seeking a way into the battery. At this admission, you feel a softening in the essence of the Purgarin. In one moment, each soul and fragment is distant, and in the next, they form an indistinguishable host. You perceive them as a school of fish caught in a tide, a flurry of snowflakes on the wind, a pantry full of fragrant spices.
Then I hope you're satisfied with what you found here.
Not really.
At least you get to leave this place.
But it was good to be remembered. However briefly.
As the souls of Durgan's battery speak to you, their collective entities take shape, much like Mardwin's did. There are scorns of them, all torn and conflicting purposes and trapped in the memory of their lost battle. You taste the bitterness of their uncertain existence and feel the persistent ache of centuries. It's a slow, agonizing fate, but you find it in your power to grant them another. I want to say the first one. I'm going to say the first one. Perceive the tenuous connection between the souls and the battery. As you sever them, the souls cry out, some in relief, others in rage. Fury spills in the ether, which swarms with essence and energy. You cover your ears and grit your teeth against the devastating hum that bows into the core of your soul. Shut up! The White Forge is now available to use. It has a unique ability to refine enduring ingots. Multiple ingots are required to create a single refined ingot. After refinement, these ingots can be used at any time in enhancement recipes to augment weapons, shields and armor. Alright, well, we've been here, done there, done that. Level them up. Level up. Here.
By the time you stepped out of Durgan's battery and into the new snow outside, word had already spread of strange lights rising from the fortress, and energy crackling in the sky. The survivors of Starward flocked to Durgan's battery, their steps hastened by the promise of peace and prosperity at last. They mended their walls, gathered their strength, and prepared their town for the new opportunities that were sure to come. And with the voices of Durgan's battery silent at last, none heard the distant groan of something stirring among the peaks, as massive and relentless as an avalanche.
Cool. Cool, cool. outside of White Marsh. The crumbling edge of this long platform suggests that there were once stairs leading down from here, perhaps joining with the pathway some distance below. It seems a manageable jump from here onto the side, but you doubt you would be able to return. You leap, and for a dizzying moment the ground below flashes past, and then you're across the gap and upon the second tower. Oh, been here before.
Been 200 years since folks set foot in Durgan's battery. Now you've cracked the place wide open, and with quite the display. Thanks to your help, we just might pull through. You've done a lot.
Take your hand. And here, I've been saving these. Some of the last gems we recovered before we had to close the mines. With any luck, we'll have them open soon again. Glad we could help. So wait, but I'm hoping you'll make use of the White Forge too, if you haven't already. After all, if it doesn't get much better than Durgan Steel, if you can force some into your assisting gear, you'll have a powerful set of equipment in your hands. So what happens now? Now it's up to us to use this opportunity to pull ourselves back together. I'm still not pleased about having Berrigan's clan a stone's throw from our gates, but I'll have to hope that you deal with your deal with her holds. We'll just have to hope Tina pushes along a few more years. She once knew a lot about mining, but she's starting to go. To be honest, I didn't really think anyone could open the battery. It just gave folks something to hope for. But I'm starting to hope the White Forge could turn things around for us if you're able to make use of it before some Daelgudian noble stakes a claim. Yeah, that's true. So let's discuss something else.
What's on your mind?
Salmon original sold. Your awareness settles beneath mental skills. You feel yourself looking blah 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 blah. So that's all the things. Your husband waits by the door, about as far as you can get from the assembly. He holds Outtro, whose cheeks are bright as he watches the adults bickle with wide, fearful eyes. You'll never realise how badly your neighbours stank, but something rank and repulsive riles them as they pack together in this room.
How much did the old snake pay you, Sina Hiod?
It's a grenade, the head fisherman, jabbing a furious finger toward the back of the room. Geohud, your ear-sworn mare, squirms in a corner, pinned by the accusing stares of the entire village. All those eyes, their cruel, porcelain eyes, and they're watching Seerhood with the dumb gluttony of hogs staring at fodder. The only sight that turns your stomach more is Seerhood himself, trying to wiggle free on his own lies. Mr. Galvino and I came to an agreement, a lump bobbed in his throat. It was for the good of Stalwart, I thought.
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
Cries of fierce agreement rise from the others. What began as a collective gambling, grumbling is swelling and congealing like storm clouds. You look back at your husband. He's whispering to Outtro, but when you catch his eye, he directs a silent supplication to you.
Let's go.
A wet smack draws your attention back to the other end of the room. Someone's thrown a potato. Jason cringes and rubs his jaw. You want to shout at them all for all this nonsense and waste, but you know this is about to get worse. Stalwart will have blood, and Galvino and his horrors had the sense to flee already. You turn again, and your husband is beckoning you with swift chopping motions. But what stops you breathe is Outtro. His little eyes are fixed on the churning bob, and you knew ever since you started hearing about those hideous purges that he'd see something like this one day. But did it have to be so soon? It's what drove the devil woman to madness, and now his little eyes have gotten big enough to swallow the whole scene, and now he's seeing you as part of it. You want to leave now, but if you do, this is what your boy will remember: cowardice and madness. About people, about Stalwart, about you. About people, about the people around you jostle and bark in their rage. They're dangerous animals, but animals nevertheless. They just need to be led. So you push your way to the end of the room, where Silnold trembles in a puddle of his own piss.
Enough.
Your voice boils up from your throat. The other's voice falls silent, watching you. They listen, dumbly trusting as you turn Kira's death sentence into an exile. No one contradicts you when you explain what he's going to march out of this village alone and into whatever miserable hamlet will have him. Their silent agree when you explain that their hands are too clean for the likes of him. But there's something else forming behind those eyes, a kernel of trust and dependence. You feel it curdling around you, encasing you like a pearl does sand. You only wanted to spare Cernod's life, not volunteer for this job, but you see too much fear shimmering just beneath the expressions. Fear at god-men marching through the mountains, at the Erudians and their purges, at dying the slow and lonely death as a ghost town. As you see their grateful reassurance mirrored in Outro's expression, perhaps this place is hopeless, but you realise that you can't leave it any more than you could leave your boy, the only person who isn't looking at you as your husband. He's shaking his head, his eyes on the door. You retreat from Reginald's memory. Vivid though as it was nothing to do with Durgan's battery.
What's on your mind?
That's how she became mayor.
Seems I was wrong about you. Most of these adventurers come for gold and glory and leave us with a new heap of trouble. You've been different.
I've been different, so we've got another one. You reach hour by hour, you hammer away, feeling the tools grow heavy in your grip as your breath fogs your vision. You want to do better work than this. You can do better work than this, but no one's better building new homes than Stalwart. The last table you crafted was put in the fishery, and pike entrails now trace the fine dovetail joints you so lovingly carved. Now you mend the stockade, perhaps that's what's needed. Chisel slips, skidding alongside your hand. You gasp, but you hold onto your hand and see. Much to your relief, all your fingers are wiggling back at you. You need to get out of this town. Go back into Aldrin Wall, so he wants to go as well.
Something else you need?
Well, his father wanted to leave, he wanted to leave, and she's like, well, I've got no bloody choice, essentially. Yeah, that could be me today, it probably is me today. I want to get food in my belly. Be around. As you sleep, you're bored and buffeted by the vagaries of dreams. They tumble and thrash about you and fill your mind's eye with pale glittering motes. They dissolve into a light snowfall and a biting northerly wind. You recognise the mountains of White March rising above you, and you shiver. You see Stalwart a few miles away, quiet and still, but for a few curling streams of smoke rising from the chimneys. Durgan's battery is perched above it, its shadow stretching into the valley. Above it all, you hear a deep, slow rhythm. At first it sounds like a distant drumming, but then it grows louder, cracking through the dry air and booming from the mountain peaks. It bowls until you feel it reverberating beneath your feet. Watch and listen. Act thud comes louder and faster than the next. Thunder echoes from the mountaintops, and great sheets of ice and snow tumble down the slopes. But the river keeps building, shattering frozen lakes like crystal saucers. New ravines split through the mountains as old chasms fill with snow and scree. A rock slide buries Stalwart, and During's battery is shaken into rubble. Shadows rise over the mountains, the vanguard of a massive army. You flee. You tumble from the footballs and bound across Deerwood, feeling the rumble of the advancing army all the while. Bended walls reach barricade yourself in the great hall, and the pounding grows closer still. It rattles the foundation of Green Keep. And just as the masonry begins shaking loose, you hear an unholy battle cry coming from your courtyard. The ceiling collapses again and sends a cascade of bricks and beams into your head. You struggle to wakefulness, kicking at the bedding, knotting around your legs. As you shake free of the last bound of sleep, you hear a voice whisper something in a language you've never heard, and you see an image of 100 shifting, staring eyes. You awaken, feverishly warm and covered in